Yeah, they struggled to win Marseille. The game was boring, so that was a boring game for me. So Arsenal won. Those are like the big games that we saw. Juve, that game that made me talk was Juve Dortmund game 4-4. Like I didn't believe that. Like 4-4, first half goalless draw, and second half, I'm saying like 4-4. Who does that? Where Juve were winning like sorry, where Dortmund was winning like 4-2 down. Juve came from behind and they drew the match. That was the game of the week. That was the game of the week. So that was also. Let's just go straight to chat to the weekend games. Let's start from the Premier League, from Arsenal City. That we'll talk about that one last. So let's start with Liverpool. I don't know who is seeing this thing with Liverpool that they are doing. Coming from behind to win games this season, like it's crazy. Like even though they were winning 2-0, yes, before they collapsed, but they were struggling. But the important thing is that they are having their 3 points. That's the main thing. So Duke, so like the way Liverpool is going now, are there signs of them reclaiming their trophy, or this is like a sign that they're going to retain their trophy, or maybe they're still they've not had any tougher test yet, a tough test yet on the league. Although they played Arsenal, Arsenal was they played Newcastle, but they see them coming out with 3 points. So what are you saying about this team? Is it confirmed that they are favourites, or they still have things to show, or they still have things to prove? To first call them favourite team to win the league. So what do you have to say about that?
I think my stand on this won't change much really from what I actually said the previous Monday uh, in the same space that we had here. Look, Liverpool apparently doesn't look like a complete team that has gelled and that they're playing exactly how they want to play. After the Champions League game, actually, Van Dijk in the post match interview, he said they need to stop winning games late, meaning they are not at their best currently. So they would want to win maybe smoothly, maybe have 3-0 first half, second half add more 2 or 3 goals, and then close the game like that just before the 80th minute. Maybe they're leading 5-0, 5-1, something like that. And I agree with them because I agree with Van Dijk actually because like I did say, Liverpool apparently doesn't look like a complete team that has gelled and they're playing that free flowing football that you can see from each and everyone that they are playing exactly what they want to play and how they want to play. You can clearly note that there's something missing in their style, something uh, comprehensive, something to complete the way they are playing. It's lacking. But the fact that they are grinding out results right now, you will have to fear when you think of the time when say they have gailed and they are playing like a complete team. You will definitely have to fear them. So do they look like favorites? 100%. And I will be very surprised if Liverpool does not do a back-to-back Premier League winning stuff like that, because currently I think anyone else can accept that the 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 anticipated challenger of Liverpool would be Arsenal, and Arsenal are staggering at the moment. How about Man City? They are staggering. They're not playing the way Man City needs to play when they are competing for the Premier League title. So it seems Liverpool is going to run alone yet again, and they will win the title. I believe so.
That's cool, Duke. That's the same thing I've been telling people that this Liverpool team they are not relenting. Even with the fact that they've bought new players, they've added to their squad. It's another thing that we should be worried about. You get because of I don't see them relenting anytime soon. Because they are trying to tell everybody that we are still Liverpool. We've not changed. We are still the best team in the world, and nothing can stop us from achieving our goals. With the stunts they are pulling now, it's obvious that they are the favourite to win. So let's just see. At least they're topping the league now with 5 points. Arsenal is the only people closest to them right now, and we know how Arsenal always turn out to be. They always make us to feel like there's this hope, and later they keep on giving us hopes. So that's all for Liverpool. There's another game about the weekend that everybody was talking about throughout the whole weekend. That nobody believed it because of I was anticipating Man U to win that game though. I knew Man U was gonna win. That was like, but the record coming in on time. That was crazy. And I was like, why was this guy doing that kind of silly rough? Just allow them score and allow the game to be open. If I was the coach, I will not play Sanchez in my next game. But I feel most times some red cards are not really necessary. Some kind of tackles. Yeah, that was 1-1 that was happening there. I'm not even sure if he's gonna score the goal. You're not even sure. That was like a silly rough because that game really cost Chelsea that much. That foul. That foul. And I don't know what happened to Maresca. I don't know, maybe he was paranoid or he did some wrong changes. Because why would you remove your playmakers? You were removing, you remove, you remove Neto, you remove Palmer. So where was the goals coming from? And when you had record, if you remove your best players, imagine those guys were around at that time. I'm sure Chelsea would have at least tried to secure a draw. But I don't know most coaches most time. Maybe did they give judges or did they judge game based on their emotions or what? I don't understand. You're losing. You remove somebody, at least you remove Neto to replace a goalkeeper. Then you are removing Palmer again. Who does that? So I feel that actions alone cost Chelsea the game. Even if I know Chelsea was going to win, sorry, Man was going to win that game. I know Amber needed to win to solidify his name back in Manchester. I know that winning was paramount, but let's see. So what's your take on that Chelsea's match, Duke? Do you feel Maresca changes this cause damage? Because if those guys were on when this guy was removed, Casemiro, at least Chelsea would have fought back. So what do you feel about the game? What did you feel? Or what is your own take on it?
Well, 10 minutes, 5 minutes into the game, and Maresca was saying a whole different thing that he could ever think of. And I think in their preparations, they never ever thought of a situation like this one. Yeah, you know, managers do prepare for red cards as well in games for injuries and whatnot, but to receive a red card as early uh, as the 5th minute is almost the unthinkable. And everything that Maresca did, every decision that Maresca made, uh, was actually a disservice to the entire Chelsea team. First of all, I'll begin with that red card. Is the challenge that goalkeepers always face, or any other player on the pitch. A striker will go in any game saying, "I need to score. I need to be on the scoreboard." You get a defender will be like, "I will do whatever it takes to have a clean sheet because that's what counts for them when it comes to." Okay, what I'm trying to say is, I'm sure even a goalkeeper and Sanchez in this case should have come into the or came into the game saying, "I have to do my best." It is Man United we are playing against. We haven't won at Old Trafford since 2013. We need to defend. We need to clear this. We need to write new history. We need to make new records here. And sometimes it takes a lot of things, and these players really have a lot in their heads to put into consideration in every game they go into. I'm sure Sanchez, uh, for the greater part of the team, he must have said, "No, I think I should stop this guy from scoring." And then he forgot about the position he was actually in, and then the situation he was in. He totally forgot about the time of the game, and that the game had just started, and that any cynical challenge was really unnecessary. I agree with you when you say I should have left the guy to score. I agree 100%. Let him score. The game is so early. You've come with your game plan, and everything seems to be not so bad because you are fallen high on confidence. You are a better team. You're going in as the big dogs and not the underdogs. So give away certain things. It reminds me of what Luis Suarez did once upon a time in the World Cup against Ghana. You know, punching out the ball and saving the goal. I think in his mind he thought, "Oh, the game is towards the end. Even if I'm red carded, I save this goal. Who knows? The penalty can be saved," and that's exactly what happened. So I think that goes down on Sanchez as an individual for failing to be that intelligent player he is supposed to be, especially at that kind of level he's playing football at. And then, of course, what followed after that was uh, substitution decisions made out of utter panic and impulse. Taking off Pedro Neto was to me was the first blunder I saw Maresca make, and then I was like, Pedro Neto, with all the energy he puts into every game, it shouldn't have mattered whether they are one man down or not. You need a Pedro Neto on that pitch. You need a person with that kind of mentality, that kind of energy, that kind of work rate on the pitch if you want to chase a game you are already trailing and trailing one man down as well. So I think, yeah, I am convinced to agree with you that Maresca's decisions immediately after that red card are what actually cost his team. Because you look at what he did in the second half, he now tried to correct, and that's what even caused more problems. He now had to correct the mistakes he made earlier than chase the game. And then the moment he tried to do that, Chelsea got into the game fully. So I think that explains the wrong decisions he made. And yeah, I will say Chelsea losing against Man United is not entirely because they were one man down at that point, but it's the decisions that the manager made at the time they went one man down.
That's fact though. That's fact. Hey, welcome. That's fact. Yeah, you just said it though. 'Cause I feel the both, like you said, every coach is most time prepare for options in case there's a red card. What would I do? If it's coming from the striking position of my team, who will I remove? If it's from the goalkeeper, who will I defender, and so. But I guess maybe he felt was paranoid. I guess because removing Palmer from your team was not really that sharp. Remove Palmer, you remove your playmakers, and luckily for you, man, you had their own woes in the game. They had the red card. So imagine those guys were on field. I guess they would have been like a strong comeback. You get. I just felt Enzo Maresca too was at fault then. That was a careless thing from Sanchez. I know most times goalkeeper will be like, let me just try. Him not observing his position where he was cost him a lot. So that's the thing. So that was a wrong one from Sanchez. Anyway, it cost them that 3 point though. Even though I'm happy they lost actually. So I was grateful. I was happy they lost. Yeah, it's football. Yeah, there's always an enemy somewhere winning your team. So Helen, welcome. Do you have anything to say about the Chelsea match? You were not around last week, so welcome back, Helen. Helen, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
good evening. Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening. Sorry, I was not around last week. Just several things was happening that night, so that's why I was not able to come last week. Sorry.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. I was listening to the Duke of is it Lagos.
Duke of
Yeah.
Duke of
Yeah.
Manafa. It's
Okay.
from
I was
it's from
listening
Uganda.
to. Oh, nice, nice, nice. That's Uganda. Of Uganda. All right, so yes, of course, he has said almost everything about that Chelsea and Manchester United game. I know that it was a crazy thing, and sometimes you will not blame a coach when a coach decides to make that kind of decision. You see something happening in your face so fast, and you just have to make some crazy decisions. But either way, it was a beautiful goal, and I think for Chelsea, whether they like it or not, it's very difficult to beat Manchester United at Old Trafford, no matter what. It's so difficult. Beating Manchester United at Old Trafford, even the one of the worst Manchester United we have right now in history, and still difficult for them. So, I think Maresca should just use that game as a learning process. When you have, I don't know, maybe do you train? Don't they, I'm sure they used to train with 10 men. Like, okay, what if something happened like this? How we go to set up, blah blah blah. I don't know. They did not train. He doesn't train with 10 men and all that. But either way, it was just a very unfortunate game, and hopefully Maresca has used that as a learning process. That going forward, this is how you're supposed to set up your game when you lose one man, because it happens. Red card can come at any time. But it was a beautiful goal. Manchester United, it was still a very bad game. If I'm just imagining if it was Liverpool, Arsenal that will have their opponents down to 10 men, man, the goals that they would have banged in the first half, it would be crazy. But they were really struggling to really score goals. As in, I don't even understand what is wrong with this Manchester United. To score goals is so difficult for them, creating the chances, but to put in back of the net is difficult. Sesko is still not that striker we are expecting him to be yet. Though it's still the start of the season, but either way, beautiful game and good win for Manchester United. They needed it.
Yeah, they actually needed the game, or they actually needed that win to bounce back because of they've not been doing well lately. And I guess this guy is still on one toes. His job is shaking. So they needed that win actually. So, anyways, I'm not really a fan of both teams, but I was happy at least there was a if there'll be a winner in that team, let it be Manchester United. You get. So that's were like my worst teams. So I might needed the win for them to bounce back. So let's see what they have for us as time goes on. So we'll be going down to Arsenal. I know Arsenal game was like, even if Man City was not in their best, and Arsenal was not gonna. Even though Arsenal had like the best position in the team of that game, but we saw what happened. Manchester City, they were winning to one. Everybody, Haaland, doesn't really know how to do better. And that pass from Eze just decided everything. Oh, that pass just said it all that the money they paid was not like his money. The money really worth it though, because that pass was those kind of passes Messi normally give in tight situations. Just throw that kind of pass. PI. So Eze really tried, and Martinelli that nobody. They said the cornerstone became as close out Bible verse. Martinelli nobody expected to do something. This is that kind of guy. Like, come on, this Martinelli. Arsenal really tried, or at least even when they were losing, they were still pressuring City, which is everybody. This is like unusual. Arsenal and in Emirates. I was happy for Arsenal. So, Jake, I know as an Arsenal fan, I know you were you expecting that draw, or you've given up already that we're not winning this game, or you were like, anyhow now, just pass it now. So, but I know when the draw came, you're like, so my boy. So, what do you feel about the match? Are we giving up about the game already? But you were with your team till like it's gonna happen. This is we're gonna do it. So, what's your take on that game, on that match, on that Arsenal City game?
And I will be so honest, Mr. Fresh. Listen, going into that game, I just like it was the first game, our first game of the season against Man United. I just couldn't see my team lose against Man United, regardless of the grounds, whether it was Emirates or Old Trafford. I just couldn't see Arsenal lose against Man United because, well, we can all agree this is a much improved Arsenal. And then the recent results against Man City keep the hopes up. I was utterly disappointed when we went to Anfield because we hadn't lost to Liverpool in 4 seasons now. Whether Anfield or Emirates, it didn't matter. We were picking a point there. And then we went to Anfield when I felt we had a more improved team, and still we didn't. And now Man City comes to Emirates where they lost 5 goals to 1 last season, and I just couldn't see Arsenal lose, or basically I just couldn't see Arsenal not get a win against City in the Emirates. The result, honestly, personally, I was disappointed because you know Guardiola said it at the end of at the post in the post match interview. Arsenal were the better team, and everyone saw that. However, like the same thing I told you last Monday is the same thing I'm going to tell you again. Many teams have suffered in the Premier League. Many teams have failed to challenge for the title because they do not have the most suitable number 6. Man City dominated the Premier League and won it 3 times, and most of those times they had the number 6 they needed in Rodri. We're talking about the Rodri who won the Champions League, the Ballon d'Or winner. The road is the road we are talking about. Arsenal had the last 2 seasons, I would say, had the best midfielder, or rather one of the best midfielders in the world, and then didn't utilize the chance. They dominated teams, yes, they challenged for the title, but they lacked the cutting edge. And anyone maybe will argue and say they didn't have the typical goal scorer. So you realize that there was a missing link between Arsenal, or rather that would link Arsenal to the title. Now, when Arsenal seem like they have found the missing jig in the puzzle, they lost the number 6 they need. So, and the replacement is so much below par. Last Monday, I told everyone who was here that Zubamendi doesn't have the capability, the intelligence, the physique, the work rate to protect the defense behind him. Something a number 6, a typical number 6 ought to do. Arsenal struggled against Man City over the weekend, mainly because they had a Rodri, who is just struggling to get back to his form, but because of his intelligence, he was still able to protect his defense. And then we saw Arsenal had more of the ball, had more of the attacks, and they were still failing to get the cutting edge to break down Man City. Minutes into the game, I still believe we would win the game, but honestly, I didn't see where the win was coming from. I believed Arsenal was going to score, but I would barely see where the goal would come from. Now, Martinelli has got a good record against Man City. He scored, I think, the second last visit to the Emirates of Man City. He did score the 1-0 win. And then, but I didn't see him score on this occasion, considering that his form has been not so good lately. Like you were trying to say, the neglected stone became the cornerstone. That is the Bible verse, yeah. However, of course, kudos to Eberechi Eze, and then also the fact that Martinelli kept his composure, took down the ball, controlled it perfectly, and then it is the decision to carry that ball over a giant like Donnarumma and then into the net is what gives him a lot of credit. Man City, on the other hand, is clearly not playing the way a typical Guardiola would be expected to play. We saw Man City play a low block. Now, if an intelligent tactician like Guardiola, having the presence of Rodri on the pitch, decides to go for a low block, it's going to be very, very difficult. However, on the other hand, I think it's a bit discrediting for a manager who has been earning a lot of credit for his attacking football, possession, and whatnot, to go down and play a low block against his apprentice, Mikel Arteta. I think it creates a situation where we have an apprentice beating the master, or the hunter being hunted. You get. So I think there is a lot of credit, not because I'm an Arsenal fan, but there is a lot of credit to Arsenal than you would give to Man City. Of course, everyone would say no, they are good. They are on the road to an away game at the Emirates. They have to be cautious and all that, but they have never been before. They have never been before, and they've come there several times, and they've picked wins from there. And they've never laid that low defensive wise, but they did this time. So I think a lot of credit to Mikel Arteta, a lot of credit to Arsenal. But on my side, I was disappointed with a draw. Arsenal deserved to beat Man City, not just for pride. Not just for a situation of pride, but also for the fact that, like I said, if you want to challenge for the title, these are the games you must win. Win those
Yeah,
games, make the Emirates a fortress. Let every team fear to go to the Emirates, and then there and then you will be capable of challenging for the title.
yeah, nice
I,
one.
I
Nice.
think, I think,
Okay,
I think,
Helen.
I think what you just said is actually I will support you a bit. Arsenal were they deserve the win because it's for the first time, according to Pep, but the first time in 10 years, they went ahead to play a defensive game. I was so mad when he made those substitutions, like he moving your Haaland and Fifo, trying to defend against 10 and one goal lead when you know that. Now I was so mad at all that. But I think even though you are proud of Mikel Arteta, I'm going to say that Mikel Arteta was the one that started this game on a bad note. You wanted to go out there for win. There was no need for you to keep your easy on the bench. You needed those creativity there. Odegaard is not around, so you were supposed to start with him. All that. I expected you to start with Eze in that match. He cost this game. He cost Arsenal at that point. He was so. I don't know whether I will not say he's scared of Man City. No, he was not scared of Man City because Man City, as we all know, is struggling right now. But I just feel like he was the one that cost me and Arsenal at this point. They were supposed to get away with those 3 points. And now Liverpool's 5 points above Arsenal. Let's face it, nobody's expecting City to win the league this time around. Everybody's like, okay, Arsenal, can you do something this year? Can you do something? And then the big games, you're getting a draw against City again that you're supposed to win. He cost that game. Even though you are proud of him, me, I am not proud of him. He cost the game. That's for me.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody who have our own views, and G, I'm coming. You're able to say something, but I did not really start the game on because I joined second half. when I joined, Arsenal were already losing to City. You get so when I started watching, I saw that the tension was high from Arsenal from second half, because Arsenal were like doing more of the possession, more of the tackling, and more of like the counters. Just that obviously, if you are watching that game, you definitely know Arsenal might do a comeback. I was thinking maybe Arsenal might even win them like 2-1. At some point, after Haaland was removed and or like the chances were not coming, City were like, what the fuck are you defending 1-0 for? Even regardless, City like needed the win more because of like last time I checked, they're not like in top six in the table, right? Or like seventh or eighth. So maybe that was why they were defending. And Arsenal kept on pressuring, and then that goal came. So Dick, want to see something? What do you want to add, Dick? You were raising your hand before.
I just want to comment on what Odisa actually said, that Ateta's team selection, he was actually trying to do the same thing he did against City, because he believes you don't go against Guardiola, or a manager like Guardiola, with excitement. You don't just go fully out to attack and bang goals and whatnot. I think Arteta's intention was to first settle into the game, manage the game quite well, find out what Pep Guardiola has actually come to do, and then bang, get in your offensive quality players, the likes of Saka and Eze. But that wasn't. Yeah, I agree. Much of the team selection, of course, depends or lies on the manager, and that didn't actually work out, because Man City came with a quite different style of play at the start of the game. Actually, they had come to sit back a little and then hold Arsenal on the counter, and that's quite exactly how they got that goal. So I wouldn't want to criticize Ateta so much about his team selection. What I would actually criticize Ateta for is not by now realizing that Zubamendi is not capable of protecting his defense in high intensity games like these. He showed that against Liverpool, and Zubamendi has showed that yet again against Man City.
But Bamendi is just coming in. I know when Arsenal had Partey, it was something different. Partey had the strength, Partey had the composure, and Partey has been playing for the league for long. So Bamendi he needs to adapt. Coming from a league like La Liga, which is like really say soft. EPL is more of like a physical kind of physical football. So he needs to like to adapt. He cannot just like when this guy came into Liverpool's the DMF, Greenbench was not really outstanding on his first season. Now check him out. Now the next season he did well. So I think we need to give Zubamendi some chance to prove himself. Anyways, you can't compare what Partey
Mr.
was
Mr.
doing with
Mr.
City.
Fresh, Mr. Fresh. One last
I'm
one
with,
about
I'm with you.
the comment you've just made. I have supported Arsenal from the time I was about 6 years old, 1998. And I tell you what, I have seen the highs and the lows of this team. I have seen moments where my team had a very young Van Persie, became so patient with him amidst long-term injuries, not once or twice or thrice. And then the time he got to his peak, boy woke up one morning and said, I'm leaving. And going where? Manchester United. How heartbreaking. Look at Song Belong. So patient with him, made a lot of mistakes, cost the team so many times. At the time we got to the level we wanted him to be, or the level the manager wanted him to be, what does he do? I am going to Barcelona. He leaves us there just like that. I do not want situations. Of course, I have no say over Arsenal, the decisions of Arsenal, but I am sick of situations where my team has to say, let's be patient with this player. Thomas Partey came from La Liga and straight into the team, into the Premier League, and bang, best midfielder in the Premier League. Look at Mosquera, straight from the La Liga, comes to the Premier League. His first game is thrown in the heat of Anfield against Liverpool. Look at it. He puts up a brilliant show. A brilliant show. Zubamendi, he has been with this team all the way from the preseasons and all that. He has played friendlies. By this time, Zubamendi should have fitted in this team. What is happening? Mosquera didn't have any friendly to play with that team, but look at his performance, top notch. I mean, I just no longer can stand the excuse of saying he needs time. You need time as the team is being as you're costing the team. Now 5 points. Sorry, 4 points now lost. Is it? Yeah. No, 5 points lost. 5 points. 5 points lost because
5 points. 5 points.
yeah, 5 points lost, and in my opinion, for lack of a good number six. So I mean, no more time, my friend. No more time. He should get into the team, fit in, and perform. He is not coming into an academy. He's coming in as a professional footballer. He's good. That's why he was brought in.
Yeah, I really get you, Duke. Yeah, I found what you're saying, but most times I still ask myself, I don't know why Arsenal tried to ship Partey. I don't know if it's because of the rape allegations he was having, or I don't understand why. Because
A,
no,
a
is
quick
that they will
a
not
quick one
pay him enough.
A quick
I don't
one
know
on
why.
Thomas Partey.
Uh-huh.
The challenge that was at Arsenal, or I would call it a crisis at Arsenal, was the new sporting director, Beta. Remember, he came from Atletico Madrid, where Thomas Partey came from. He
Yeah,
is
from
the one who
ATM.
released, actually. He forced Thomas Partey out of Atletico. So it so happens that, on a very unfortunate note, that Beta actually comes to Arsenal in a sit in at a period, at a time when Thomas Partey is having issues. Arsenal, it is said that Arsenal has been paying quite a significant amount of money to keep Thomas Partey out of the rape allegations. Now, Beta comes, and the reason he uses is the team is spending unnecessarily. Now, Thomas Partey is supposed to be given a new contract, and he demands through his agent that his salary be increased. Bet again uses that and says, "We are already paying hefty sums for your allegations. We cannot add you the wages." So I think it becomes quite tricky, and then Partey ends up leaving. It's a situation that I think even the manager didn't have um, control over. But Ateta, as him, really loved Thomas Partey so much, and he really wanted him in his team. But that's the situation Partey found himself in.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Most times good players like this are hard to get, and when you're thinking they bring the replacement, it's going to tell on you. Arsenal over the years has been trying to build up, but always coming back, coming back. They'll come back, come back. But this is not what they need. Then Arsenal need the trophy. I don't know how I because Arteta's beginning a lot of chance. Even though the striker he wants to get is not Victor Gyökeres, but that was the only option he has. But we don't want to be end this. We are close. 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 We need to get it done. Let's get it done this season. And with the way Liverpool are going now, I don't think it's going to be possible. And it's just 5 games they played, right? So I don't think it's going to be possible. But hopefully they can. They can and they will. So Arsenal has always been hoping. So let's still keep the energy. Let's keep the energy. I think that's all for now in the Premier League. Those are like the major things that happened. I don't know. Yeah, Tottenham. Those are the major games that made headlines this season. And Fulham did win, and other teams things that happened. So let's go to straight to La Liga. Nothing really much happened in La Liga though. Madrid winning again. Mbappe scoring as usual. Then Barcelona we want to. So I guess you guys are still watching the Ballon d'Or ceremony. Jake, are you following up on the Ballon d'Or ceremony?
Yes, we're following I'm following the
Um,
Ballon ceremony.
yeah, I'm live.
We're looking forward to who they will give. I think they just announced Donnarumma as the best goalkeeper. They announced Luis Enrique as the best coach.
Yeah, yes, yes,
Lamine
yes, yes.
Yamal has won the Copa this year for the Young Player of the Year. So we are expecting to know who they will give us the men's player of the year. And we're expecting for the top 10. I think we really want to see the top 10 because it's already crazy buzz around. Everybody is like saying, why is it Pedri, Kvaratskhelia that ranks there below the top 10? And then we see Kopama is there, is up there in the top. He's going to be among the top 10. I think he's the only English Premier League player for now that's in the top 10. Even Mohamed Salah is not even included in that top 10. So it's going to be pretty interesting. So we're looking forward to I hope they can finish it before we leave so we can argue about it and talk about it.
It's still on though. It's still on. So I'm not surprised with the award they've given so far. Everything is on merit for now. Enrique deserves to be the best coach. That Chelsea coach, that USA coach, as ex Chelsea's female coach, she deserves to be the best female coach for now. Yamal being Yamal being the back-to-back Copa Trophy well deserved because he had that noise last season. But I don't know why Barca fans are pushing Yamal to win this Ballon d'Or. I see like a propaganda because of Yamal had a good season, but I don't like the fact they are pushing Yamal instead of Rafinha. I mean, Barca fan now. You go to X, go to Twitter now. Even the X, all these Barcelona influencers talking about Yamal. What did Yamal actually play? Yeah, they're taking it back to 2018 that Modric won the Ballon d'Or. They're like Modric played how many games, but he won. That was a World Cup year for crying out loud. That was a World Cup year. And almost like we see like so many ups and downs, like so many heartbreaking scenarios in Ballon d'Or stuff. But man, even though I'm a Barca fan, I like Yamal, but bringing up Yamal in this conversation is not fair. It's not fair to Rafinha because Rafinha was Barcelona's best player last season. Rafinha was La Liga best player last season. So Barca fans throwing Yamal all around, Yamal, Yamal, Yamal. Yeah, Yamal played, but come on, they stop pushing Yamal like that. It didn't use that energy to push Rafinha. All the media, is it because Rafinha is playing for, is playing in this thing. It's from South America or what? Or Yamal is an European player. But regardless, let them give it to Dembele. For me, the favorite to win it. Even if yeah, this guy has more this thing than him, more stats than him, but I feel it's the favorite to win it. But I'm still glued to my TV though. I'm watching it, so I'm still active. So Helen, what are talking about this Ballon d'Or now? I don't see how you're pushing your mouth to win it as if it's the favorite to win, as if it was the best player last season. What he won, that's what he deserves to win. Copa Trophy. Let them stop this their noise. Let them give him time to play well, please.
Who's that? Which one are we talking about?
Yama, when you're pushing him up and down, that Yama this, Yama that,
I don't
Yama.
think I don't think Yama is winning it. I guess what he did last season, last year football calendar. I get what he did. Towards the end of the season, he was fantastic. But when it comes to the numbers, Rafinha even has better numbers than him, and Dembele has better numbers than all of them. So I don't think Yama is going to win it this time. And for me, no, I think Dembele is just the rightful winner for now. He's just the rightful winner.
You Dick. So what about you? What do you have to say about Ballon d'Or
I'm
ceremony?
I'm I'm saying I'm saying information. It's actually a leak. They say leaking from the press have leaked from the venue of the Ballon d'Or, and they're saying information leaking. Dembele is the winner. Well, that's just a rumor. And if it stays like that, I think I would be happy with the result personally, because Dembele does deserve the Ballon d'Or for what he has done, winning. He won a treble. Yeah, he won a treble with PSG, and he was a performer in all of PSG's attempts to win these titles. Actually, so there's going to be no doubt about that. But of course, sometimes in these um, uh, Ballon d'Or, whatever, and basically any European accolade, there is a bit of politics in them. Teams, the Barcelona, Real Madrid. Trust, believe you me, had there been someone nominated to that level from Man United, you'd see him being hyped the same way. These are Europeans, I mean. So it is how much it is how much influence the team has in Europe that sometimes uh, dictates who the Ballon d'Or winner is going to be. That is why on those grounds, when I look back, Messi, I think, deserved, but also not deserving so 100%. He was good, that is true. Messi was an outstanding player. We can't deny that. But the fact that he was playing for Barcelona gave him more capacity, gave him more chances, gave him more popularity to challenge for the Ballon d'Or, no
Yeah,
doubt. Cristiano Ronaldo, it's highly because he's European, playing for Real Madrid, so you wouldn't expect really for any even anyone in England choose between Ronaldo and Messi. Believe you me, they would go for Ronaldo. I believe so. But then remember, since Messi was in Barcelona, performing so well in Europe, it gave him a lot of chances as well. And that is one of the reasons why those two dominated the Ballon d'Or for a very long time.
Okay, that's cool. But even though, yeah, like you said, you were really making some point. But you know, during the other Messi era, those guys were just spectacular. They were exceptional. Like most
Yeah, that
times,
is that is very true. Very,
yeah,
very
if
true. They
if
were
was like
exceptional.
imagine when they were comparing Vinicius of last when Rodri won it last time. Vinicius was saying he was raw, but we check his numbers. Come on now, this was Ronaldo and Messi's worst numbers in their bad days. Ronaldo was giving us 50 goals, 100 goals, 80 goals, 60 goals. Messi 91 goals in calendar year. So this is just like it's just like a new thing now. Just imagine like so the hype was still there, even though there were sometimes they did not win a trophy. But we check their goals and assists, you be like, come on now. I'm on 50 goals, 40 goals in the whole season or in the whole calendar year. And you that are saying you had a good season, you're scoring less like 2 to 3 goals. So that was why then the hype, like you said, the club too was backing them. Ronaldo being a European player, playing for Real Madrid was another hype. Messi being a Argentine, playing for Barcelona is another big team. But those guys were exceptionals. Let's get their glories. But just like what happened last season, a lot Madrid fans were saying Vini was draw, but I was among those saying Rodri deserved it. Rodri had a good season. It's hard time we start giving midfielders their flowers. Not every time strikers, 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 strikers. It's hard time we start giving midfielders their strikers, their flowers. Quick one. I don't know why they give Victor Gyökeres best striker. I don't know what he was striking last season in Sporting Lisbon. I don't know what he played that they gave him best striker now. They started again in this Ballon d'Or. Which one is Victor Gyökeres, the best striker of last season? When Harry Kane was there, even though Harry Kane has won it before, but Harry Kane had a better season than Victor Gyökeres. I don't know why they gave him that award. What did he do in Sporting? He was scoring goals. Yeah, he was scoring goals regardless, but I don't know. Did he have a better season than Harry Kane? That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if I'm wrong. So can you definitely say on that? Is Victor Gyökeres worthy to win the Loma Trophy as the best striker of last season? Are you there, Duke? Did you
I'm
hear me?
actually I'm actually trying to find his numbers at Sporting, and then I try to and then I try to compare them with those of
Harry
Harry
Kane.
Kane. But it seems from what was talked about Jokeres during his transfer to Arsenal, I think his numbers, well, in terms of goals, yeah, they were outstanding because I remember there were 99 goals in 104 appearances. So I think that is a high goal scoring rate really, and I don't think Harry Kane has matched it or matched it last season. Talking particularly about those two and the last 2 seasons, I think just for the numbers of goals, Jokeres seem to have a better
Yeah,
ratio, a better
quick
rate.
one, quick one, quick one, Duke. It's just like when you are giving, okay, just like European Golden Boot now, the top five leagues in Europe, like England, Spain, Germany, Italy, and France, we are taking their goals. Just like, for example, now, when it comes to goals last season, Victor Gyökeres has more goals than Mbappe, but Mbappe won the award due to in Europe they check one goal by two. So if you are scoring one, you're timing it by two. But in the likes of Sporting Lisbon and Ajax and Holland League, they're multiplying yours by 1.5. So that was why I don't feel that league is. I don't feel UEFA rates the league like the top five league. If not, it have been the same gap with the likes of the top five leagues in Europe. But Mbappe had like 30 goals and this guy had over like 30 something goals. But when he times Mbappe by two and times Victor Gyökeres by 1.5, see Mbappe has more. So that is what the league brings. So Victor had a good season, quite alright. He banked some goals, but that was in Portuguese league. So that's why you don't really rate this kind of league like that. You get in Europe, you understand. But I know he had those numbers. Yeah, when it comes to scoring goals in and out every weekend, hat tricks, free kicks, penalties. But I will go for Hurricane because Hurricane was in a tougher league. Because you say Premier League is tougher. Premier League is more tougher than Bundesliga is more tougher than Portuguese league. That's what I have to say. But anyways, kudos to him. At least he knows this thing. We try to bring him out now. At least he will try to prove himself in Arsenal. At least this thing he wants to do, give him like this global guy. You have something to prove. So prove it. So good one for him at least. That's cool. So we make club of the year the next. I'm still waiting for the Ballon d'Or though. I can't wait to see who's gonna win it. I just the hype and every straw, everything will be end throughout the year, the argument. But I don't know. It's only me that's feeling that way. That this year Ballon d'Or, the hype is not really there. The hype is not really there like others Ballon, like the previous year. It'll be like, but this one just quiet. It's because they have people that involved. Yeah, that the favorite to win it. Like the Mele now winning. Like, just be like, just come and just meet it in your front. Like what people have toiled, have suffered for, they could not win it. Yeah, that was it. Now just be like, I'm just seeing it like I'm lucky. Because Mbappe has been trying to get this platform he's trying to get now. He has not gotten it. That's why I was bringing he left for Madrid. You see how life works. All the things I've been trying to get, but now he's not getting now. I don't to Madrid. But I know one day he's gonna be a potential Ballon d'Or winner for Mbappe. That one is starting. That one is starting for Mbappe. He's gonna be a Ballon d'Or winner. But then for Dembele, I feel he's just lucky. He saw this opportunity and he made use of it very well. That's why I feel Dembele did. He used the opportunity very well and he capitalized on it and come on now he's winning the Ballon d'Or. Hopefully, he's gonna win the Ballon d'Or. So I'm active on my screen. I'm just going to win. I'm going to win the Ballon d'Or. I know. So, Jig, I still say let Manchester United give Ruben Amorim some time, or is it hard time they sack him, or just to give him some time to still continue with the club? I don't know. With Sunday game, what do you feel about that match? Do you feel that Ruben Amorim should be given some time, or he should just be sacking before for more crisis that will happen in the future, or he's going to correct these corrections and adjust? So, what do you feel
I
about that?
think I think for as long as Ruben Amorim is still at Man United, I think I'll still get happiness. Well, that's a joke, but Ruben Amorim, like, but I think my stance on him has not changed, and I think it's not about to change, because I still don't believe that Ruben Amorim is going to take Man United to where they want to be, considering, well, despite them losing their last game, but we know the circumstances under which Man United won the game against Chelsea. They scored 2 goals moments after Chelsea had gone a man down. They weren't able to do anything else. Chelsea kept actually Man United at bay. They seemed to be managing the game quite well, despite, of course, there were those waves of Man United attacks. But of course, that was clear that Chelsea had not had time to organize themselves and probably restructure on how to play uh, with one man down. Now, in the second half, when Chelsea restructures, they look like a better team, better than United. And then United also go one man down, and then United look vulnerable against Chelsea. So you realize that, I mean, a manager who has been in a club for the time Amorim has been at United, you expect him to have created significant changes. Amorim emphasizes, he keeps saying how much the team has improved and that they're playing better, but honestly, I don't see that. 32, 32 games at United right now and 34 points. That is really not good for any manager to be given more time. I am not saying they should sack him, but I think Amorim just maybe someone can argue and say he hasn't picked yet. Maybe he's assembled his team, but how long is it going to take you to assemble a team that can compete in the Premier League? Just about half a season for any good manager, and he has had that moment. At the time when Amorim came into the team, he said he didn't have the players. He has been supported by the board. I mean, no one is going to let you buy 22 players or even a whole 11 players. That budget is not there, and even if it were there, the PFF just can't let you go by like that. So a good manager should be able to fix the team, do a quick fix. The things Mourinho used to do in teams that he used to go to. Do a quick fix, get some results, grind some results, let the team survive. We saw Klopp do that. Arteta did that with Arsenal. It was at least a quick turnaround in an acceptable period of time. Months should be enough. 4 or 5 months, the team should be promising. It's not the case with United. The win that they had against Chelsea, the win they had against Burnley doesn't really create a significant difference in the improvement of United, because since January, Man United have not won 2 games in a month. So the win against Burnley was for August, and then a win against Chelsea is for September. Can they go ahead, like I said last Monday? Can Man United go ahead to win 4-5 games consecutively? That, and then there is when we can now try to start gauging Ruben Amorim and say, well, he has turned around the team and he's grinding results. His style of play is one that has been criticized highly, even by myself. A back three is not a system that you can rely on 100% in the Premier League. It could win you some games, but it cannot allow you to compete. It cannot allow you to stand in a significant position on the Premier League table. No, it cannot, because the way that English football is built, it's so quick that even the players you have at the back, the 3 players you have at the back, should be exceptionally good. They should be very intelligent players to read games maybe 5 seconds ahead of any other player to be able to cut down those counterattacks or those superb passes and whatnot. We saw the Eze's assist against Leeds. This was a defender playing in the Premier League for the first time. And I think had it been told that in the Premier League, you can be caught off guard any moment and you have to be on your toes all the time. Don't let the ball go past you unless you are sure it's going out. So what this guy does actually, he lets the ball go over him, and before he realizes he needs to turn and see where the ball has landed, it's on Eze's foot, and he first time assist for first time pass for Gyökeres goal. That is the Premier League, typical of it. I remember when Peter Cech was still at Arsenal, and then Van Lendo joined Arsenal. There was an interview where Peter Cech was saying, Leno has to improve on his game reading because the Premier League is so fast. Now
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
are playing a system that keeps you vulnerable on the speed of the Premier League. You've got relatively new defenders. What's
Hey, what's up? Hey,
this
what's
other
up,
guy?
y'all?
Come again?
I just said what's up, y'all.
Like I was saying, and then he's having Luke Shaw playing in the center back. Another mistake. I think, get players and then put them in their areas where they have their strengths, really, because that is the other thing. We saw how easily Doku went past the Man United defense. That was so easy. I mean, he just cut through like was cutting through butter, and I didn't like that. It looked bad. Luke Shaw is not a bad defender. No, Luke Shaw is a very, very good player. I would say that we saw him be so outstanding when England played up to the Euros finals. But to play him out of his position of strength is one of the mistakes that Ruben Amorim is actually making, especially with his defense. And that is why United keeps on shipping in goals. And it's going to be a huge challenge. Should they come across an organized team that defends so well, talk about Sunderland, playing so very organized football, there will always be a challenge for United. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much Ruben Amorim understands the Premier League, but the decisions he makes sometimes leave me questioning his ability to manage in the Premier League.
I get, but I feel maybe he's just doing what he feels is better. But what I've observed over time, what his selections are not really helping the team. So I feel he needs to try to do some changes, or he needs to change his style of play. It's costing the team a lot. Initially, they were all blaming Onana. I feel Onana was never their problem, even though he has his own bad days of doing some careless mistakes, but it was never a problem like that. But everybody was like, Onana, 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 calling Onana as if it was the issue. But the issue is Amory. He's doing some wrong decisions that you be like, why this kind of thing? Why they complain? First I complained, the couple like, why do this kind of wrong selections? Like it's not working for you. Sometimes you're supposed to play Casemiro, you play Ugata, or other DMFs. I'll be like, man, I sure you want to last in this league. If not, you be a gunner soon. And I'm sure it's time will tell. Time will tell because it's not going to last this year in Premier League. Helen, are you there? Helen, like I watching Ballon here. I with us.
Yes, yes, I am. I am. I'm listening. Sorry, I was busy.
Okay. I was like, do you feel Manchester should give Ruben Amorim some time to prove himself, or he has exhausted his time given to him? So that was my brother Duke was trying to explain for me. So do you feel if Ruben Emery has overused his time, or just to give him more time, due to the fact that we know how Premier League football is, there's no time. It's like Premier League is like a fast lane. You cannot do it when you're out. Let the next man try. So do you feel he needs more time to prove himself, or he should be gone out of Manchester United?
No, I think the owner, the majority stakeholder of Manchester United in news group. I think at the end of the day, it depends on what they want. There have seen a coach that said that he's not going to change his philosophy. Even according to him, even if the Pope call him, he's not going to change his philosophy. And then the players is yet to adapt to his philosophy, even if they spend money. Last season we are giving Amory that excuse that it was not his players. He didn't get the kind of players he wanted. Blah blah blah. He just came in half of the season, so it should be a lot more time. But last this during the transfer window, the board backed him up. They gave him money, and he brought in the kind of players he wanted. But that would say some people would say that it was not he that got the players. So either way, it's your players. So and still yet the thing is not working for him. It's still not working yet. So for me, it depends on what the board wants. When they are tired of seeing Manchester United lose, because trust me, Manchester United is not yet that team yet, and it's going to take a long while before they will come back together. It just depends on what the board wants. For me, though, I don't want that man is not just the right coach for Manchester United.
Thank you, Helen, for that. I feel almost every Manchester United are feeling this way too. So you don't give him the time because of if you check if he like for example, let me use Ateta for example. When he started, although he was not really buying his players he needed initially, even though even at that was even chasing his old players away. He had issues with Aubameyang, he sold Lacazette, he sold some players, but from what he was in, we were like, no, this coach is gonna be a thing in the next years to come. But I'm just not even giving us that hope, like I'm gonna do it. And it's not even feeling remorseful, like I know what I'm doing, like I don't worry, my this thing will work later, even though no, like that's not what Premier League needs. We don't need that kind of football in Premier League, that kind of pattern. I come to get the job done or not. I like the former owner of Chelsea. Ibrahim don't have time. How much is your money? Please let me pay you up. Leave my team, please, before you keep my boys. No time for this. Your let's get it done now. What all this thing is doing. As for maybe my board knows best though. Maybe they feel it's not right time to sack him. I think maybe when they sack him, when they'll pay him afterwards. I don't understand. But man, just the game you won was by luck. It's not as if you did well or you played well. We're lucky to win Chelsea. We're lucky to win Chelsea, and I'm sure your next game that I'm sure they might not even win the game. So that's the thing. I just feel Amory just needs to go. And maybe he should do like Lampard, go to like a lower team, then come back again. Like I love what Lampard is doing with Coventry. I don't know. So Duke, as Arsenal fan, let's just be passing time till they call the winner, so we can battle about it a little. So wait, let me come to Arsenal now. People were like Ateta has been giving chance, giving money to prove himself, but he's not doing anything. So do you feel Ateta is still the man that will lift you guys your first trophy since 2004? Or it may be just someone else you need, or Ateta might be the person that will give you guys that trophy? Or just like okay, let me be plain. You should believe in Ateta philosophies and his tactics. Do you feel he's gonna bring home a Premier League medal one day?
Now, this situation or the question you're asking me is currently with the current trend of football, it's really so difficult. Actually, it's a question I would answer with a yes and no. I'll give an example of Jurgen Klopp. When Klopp came to Liverpool, 1, 2, 3 years, nothing significant. And then the fourth year, I think it was the fourth year, he wins the Champions League. And then season, I think, down and leaves. Now, there are those situations when anyone, anywhere, even at your job or something, you feel there is nothing new you are bringing into the field. Now, for Ateta's case, I feel he could be getting to that moment where if he feels he has pushed so hard, so well, and then the end result, the expected result, the reason why he is at Arsenal has not been achieved. There were those 2 seasons when Arsenal came so close, and I believe if Lady Luck had been on Arteta's side, he would have won the title then. Now, when you look at the subsequent seasons after that, like I said, I do not see Arsenal win the Premier League this season for the way they are playing, because already they have gone a step backwards from the team that Arteta was building, the team that was complete, and then the pillar of a team, the most crucial position has been tampered with, and then it seems like the team is going back to 3 seasons ago where they needed to land the league. Not good. So if it is that situation that Ateta had those 2 brilliant seasons and then there was nothing tangible in those seasons, he could be out of the motivation, he could be out of the energy, he could be out of the know-how. Like you've pushed so much so well and the result is not there, and you yourself are demoralized because you feel there is nothing new you can bring to the team. If he is at that point, then this should be his last season, because he seems to be he seems not able to bring in new ideas that can win him the title or the league or any big trophy like the Champions League. However, on the other hand, he could have some motivation that since he hasn't achieved what he really wants to achieve with Arsenal, and therefore that he is still fresh and he is still motivated to push the team forward and maybe win this season or next season, then he can be given the chance. But if you ask me if how much more time should Ateta be given, I think at most one more season from now. But I love Ateta so much. I was happy when Ateta came to Arsenal. I am happy with everything Ateta has done for Arsenal. But I am also getting impatient now. I feel my team should be there winning something significant, and it's not. I would give Ateta one more season, maybe. But I think he has now run out of ideas to win anything big with Arsenal.
Yeah, Jiki, that was a nice thing you just said right now. That's cool. But the issue now is that, anyways, Arsenal fans, you guys are already used to waiting and waiting for something to happen, and nothing will happen. Then another manager will come to give us hope, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. But the thing is, I also feel Arsenal needs a trophy. We've grown with. We are waiting. We are hoping. I guess if this is like Ateta's sixth season in the Prem, if I'm not mistaken. This is like his sixth season. We're tired of
It's the
hearing
fifth. The fifth.
fifth
Yeah.
or sixth. Which one?
The fifth, number 5.
Okay, number five. Okay. Yeah, even at that, okay, it's only 2 times he has been close, and that was like to City. He was second. Even when he was favourite to win, he still bottled normal. But the thing is, the only thing that I know Atlanta is lacking right now in that you guys Arsenal team is just maybe I'm not really feeling Victor Gyökeres, so but and Zubamendi. I feel that's the only thing where Arsenal is lacking. But when it comes to defense, the defense is not solid with Gabriel and Saliba. They formed a strong foundation there. Apart from that, I feel Arsenal is okay on every part of the pitch. With likes of Eze and Eze being Eze. So no more excuse from Arsenal. The way your striker, like, because I don't really believe in Victor Gyökeres, so I've not really hype him like that. So apart from those positions, I don't Arsenal is complete. So if you guys can't compete with
Well,
Liverpool,
talking about Victor Gyökeres, I think he has just been given the Striker of the Year award. So come on, you cannot
yeah,
say he's not complete.
It's not complete now. Where did he play last season? He was
Why
playing in
you say
Sporting
he's not
Lisbon.
complete
I
when he just
forgotten.
won the Ballon Striker of the Year?
Where did he? No, no, no. Where did he play last season? He played in
Who
Portuguese league.
cares? Who cares? Who cares
But we
where he
need to
plays?
care
He
now. We
just
need to
won.
care.
He
No,
just won the Ballon d'Or striker. If it's not complete, then why did Arsenal go to buy him?
nah. Arsenal bought him because of that was the only option they
I mean,
had.
we are just match day what on the season, so we cannot just start judging and saying that he had a bad season, he's not complete, and all that. So, but right now he's complete because he just won the striker of the year.
Yeah, I know he just won the striker of the year, but even at that, remember checking the best league in the world, top five leagues in the world. That league is not there. I know he scored up to like 40 goals in the league.
When you bang in those kind of goals, my dear, definitely you're going to be there. Do you know the kind of goals that guy scored last season?
Yeah, I guess
Gyökeres was also outstanding in the Premier League. Remember, he scored some goals. Sorry, in the Champions League. In the Champions League, he scored some good goals, including a hat trick against Man City.
yeah,
So
I know he was scoring goals, but in which league? That's why I'm always bent on saying
no,
which
I'm
league.
saying the Champions League. In the Champions
Yeah,
League, he
but
also
where did the
scored
thing get
some.
to?
Thank you. In the Champions League, he also
That was
scored some goals.
that was group stage, right? Was that not group stage? If I'm not mistaken.
Thank God, have mercy.
That was group stage now.
It was
No,
good stage or not, he scored goals.
there's one thing about football that I've learned over the years.
Mr. Fresh, he scored goals, whether it's group
He
stage
scores
or
goals in which
not.
league?
He
Okay, let
banged
me
in goals. He scored the
in
goals. So
which
he
league?
deserves.
In which league?
Wait. Are you saying he
In which
doesn't
league?
deserve the award? Are you saying
In which
Eucharist did not
league?
deserve the wait. Are you saying Eucharist did not deserve the award?
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve the album. Like I'm always on like which league? Which league? Let's be specific. For example, now Harry Kane has been bagging goals in Premier League. Then he's in Bundesliga. I'm not seeing his numbers. She can see his numbers of how he's scoring goals. So that's the thing. I'm not saying Victor he deserved it. He was the best striker last season, but I'm still bent on his that was Portuguese league. Come on. No, regard this season. I'm not like judging this season yet. I'll give him 1 season or 2 more seasons to adapt because this is English Premier League. So if he adapts quickly, that means you're lucky. Not everybody be like Salah. I'm like Haaland. You get so him coming now. He might not really do well this season, but let's give him more time and let's see what he has to offer. So that's what I have to just say.
Again, he has won it. So let's not talk about which league or all that. Let's just give him his credits. But let's not try to underrate the fact that maybe because he has not started scoring those goals we expect, doesn't mean he's not a complete striker. We can't just say that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a complete striker. He's a good striker. I'm giving him his credit regardless. I'll always give him his credit, but okay, like you said, let's not say which league he did it. Let's hope we're gonna do it in Premier League and him. By then I'll be satisfied that yes, he has done it. And I'll give him his flowers. You get I'll give him his flowers. But he's still a striker, yeah. He's national now, right? He's national, right? So there's one player I want to talk about. Nobody's talking about this Liverpool guy, this Ekiteke, what's his name? That guy is banging goals though. This is like he has scored 4 goals in Liverpool shirt like this. Ha. Well, it's gonna be tough on Hannes Slot to decide on who to play. I don't know if he's gonna be playing. Will he be playing? What's this boy's name? This guy they bought from Sweden. What's his name? This Newcastle boy. Okay, okay,
Isaac.
okay. Right. Isaac, yeah, Isaac, yeah.
Isaac,
So
Isaac.
yeah, I have to remember. So do you feel? Who do you feel like? They both have like past glory. Like Isaac has done better than him. You check your number, but that's football. Now this guy, anyway, this like I've not played the number of games he has played regardless. But you can take it like what I'm seeing there, I'm seeing a fighter like I'm not giving up. I need my shirt. I need to start in this thing. That's what I'm seeing on that guy. Because any emotion is given to him, like he's making use of it, like he's scoring goals. So do you feel like maybe we should stick to Isak? Isak is a big name, big player, or you should still be checking on who should I use? Should I use Isak or should I use Editike? Who will be the best? But most times when players are like this in a team, most times coach becomes confused and be like, who should I use? Should I use or should I use that? I saw one picture on X one time. They were showing bench. I saw Madrid bench. I was seeing Ronaldo, Carlos, like Beckham, some big names. And I saw Bakato. I was like, ah. So most time you be like, who will lie, who will I trust? I'm sure like the people that having that kind of scenario now in that their team because there are stats everywhere with players. So most times the coach will like, ah, hope I'm not making some wrong decision. So who do you think should be the best for that nine position what we've seen so far in the league? Gika, are you there? Or Helen, anyone? Hello, Gika, are you there? Okay, Freddie, welcome to this space. You're welcome. Okay, yeah, I'll give you the mic. Yes, sir.
Yo, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Freddie.
Yo, thank you. It's actually a nice space you guys have in here.
Yeah, thank you.
I tuned in a while ago when was it Duke? Duke was analyzing Amorim ball and making some comparisons. I feel sometimes their fans are being too emotional, first of all, and secondly, some fans are really being biased when it comes to some certain coaches and clubs. Actually, things hasn't really been going well. Secondly, I like when he made a comparison club, Jurgen in Liverpool, about struggling. Took him about 4 seasons before he had his first Champions League, then Premier League, kind of. And you see, in the aspect of Manchester United, Liverpool, and Arsenal, for instance, these are three big clubs in England, and they actually have a um, different philosophy in football, and I really felt that Manchester United fan base are really kind of like confused sometimes. Let me use this word confused. That some of them they just feel you just need a coach that can just come and do magic and boom, like you just hire a coach 6 months, you're on top of the league, and at the end of the season you won the Premier League, you win the Champions League, and that's crazy. It's never gonna happen in football. Nah, that's never gonna happen in football. Okay, let me let me go straight to the point. Look here now, yeah. Amorim came to Manchester United about towards the ending of the season, and I can't be very specific right now, but I'm just with the little knowledge I have of Manchester United because I'm not really a Man U fan. So Amorim came into Manchester United towards the end of the season. He managed to coach a couple of matches, and yeah, obviously they didn't do well. They didn't do well. But in the other competition, that's in the Europa League, they tried to manage to make it to the final. But it was unfortunate that the two poor side in England actually met, and one became victorious at the end of the day. But yeah, I want to pick something out. Amorim, as a person, is somebody who believes in himself first and foremost. And as a human, when you believe in yourself, you know what you want to do. You know yourself first and foremost. Then whatever the noise is, you won't give in. A lot of people are saying the man is stubborn, the man just believes in his philosophy and using the back three, can't function in the Premier League, blah blah blah, all different sorts of excuses and the criticisms. Personally, yeah, from my own point of view, every coach has his or her own philosophy that he works with. And Amorin had experience before. Hello, can anyone hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on, Frederick. I can hear you, Frederick.
All right, thank you, bro. So, like I was saying, he has been a coach. He has coached a couple of clubs before coming to Manchester United, and he has tried this pattern which really works for him. And give or take, he came into a team that is a total different team. It's like a higher upgrade from where he was to Manchester United. And obviously, you and I know that Manchester United is like the center of attraction when it comes to media. They all win. Okay, just not the game between Arsenal, they played better, but they didn't have the result. Obviously, you know that Arsenal didn't play well in that match, but Arsenal had the result. Okay, the game against Chelsea, they played very bad. They had the result. But fans are now like, okay, yeah, they were lucky to win the match. Like, there are some sort of criticisms that, to be honest, they don't just add up. That's not football. That's why I say sometimes I feel some people are being biased and they apply emotions when criticizing some certain coach and some certain teams. This this Amorim guy, personally to me, I see him as somebody who, when he's given the time, he can really make a change in this Manchester United. Because first and foremost, I feel the Manchester United that everyone knows is this Man U that they are serial winners. But mind you, football have changed and they still stick to what they believe. Even the same Barcelona has changed the way they play their game. Yeah, even Barcelona changed. Arsenal that we know back in the days is not the way Arsenal plays that they used to play right now. They are like imitating that of Guardiola kind of football. When you look at Chelsea today, the traditional Chelsea we know is not that Chelsea today. So the world is revolving. You need to try new things. Now, to be patient for you to see results, definitely you had to go through a lot of trials and errors before you get results. Yeah, Manchester United is a big team, is a this, is a that. Believe me and you that if you want to have sanity, if you want to have peace as a football fan, or let me just go straight to like Man U fans. If you want to have peace, just enjoy your game. Don't even think of Man U in a top four. Nah, because you guys are in a phase at which currently you are trying to work your way back into that top four rim. But right now, from every ramification, it's not just possible. It's not possible at all. So give this man the time. Personally, I see him trying to do something different entirely. And then when you look at the results, Manchester United have played the likes of Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, and they are about 7 points. Just three behind Arsenal, that is having a fantastic season that every Arsenal fan believes that they're going to win the league. Believe me, Arsenal is not winning this league. Arteta can win this Premier League. I don't even know what Arteta can win. Yeah, Arsenal is a fantastic team. They have everything put together, but they don't have that cutting edge to win a trophy. I'm sorry to say this, they can't win a trophy because we have teams that obviously are serial winners. They know how to win trophy. But this Arsenal team and the manager can't win a trophy. Forget about signing world-class players. Jokovic is a world-class player. Is Zubimendi. Wow, I applaud those guys. These are world-class players. But believe me, the engine who is the coach in order to have this. Okay, look at Arne Slot for instance, right? You said something about Amorim struggle to win the match against Chelsea, and so sometimes a good team, a good manager just know how to make this substitution and he wins the game. And a slot, for instance, the game against Bournemouth, it was quite like, oh, we are losing this game, and it wasn't luck. It wasn't luck. This is just a top class manager. The game against Newcastle, it was never luck. When when you watch the game, I hope I'm not being boring here though.
Hey, Duke want to counter you, so he's raising his hand up. I think Duke wants to counter you.
Okay,
So Duke, like you want to say something, right? I see if your hands have been up, so you can say what you want to say now. So Freddie want to hear what you want to tell him. So the floor is yours, Duke.
Yo, Duke, come on, go on.
Hello, Duke, are you there? So you want to say something before Duke? Duke, are you there? You want to say something to Freddie? To Freddie?
Okay, if he can't come up, maybe he can
We,
always
yeah,
make his
it can always
submission.
be definitely, definitely. You can continue what you're saying.
All right. So I was trying to differentiate between a top class manager, like a world class manager, and a slot coming into Liverpool in his first season winning the Premier League. The beginning of last season was not the best Liverpool, but yeah, they know how to win game, and they they have this goal of, okay, we are going for the Premier League title. Actually, Arsenal was also one of the favorites to win it, but the difference was the manager there. You get it? The last season that club left Liverpool, he assembled a team, a mindset that all the players had. Okay, yeah, we are capable of winning this league, and that was one thing Arsenal lack. So
Yeah,
when
yeah. Let me just add something real quick. Yeah, yeah. It's Arsenal. I just feel Arsenal don't really have that mentality yet to win trophy because of too many times they've bottled the league. Even the one, not even just this one of last season. Even everybody was not at their best last season. Last season, you get, but Liverpool
absolutely
capitalized on that. Even Liverpool too were not really active last season because they had their ups and downs too. But like you said,
exactly
the mentality of champions was still with them. So they saw that City were not in their best place. Chelsea was not even up there. Man U, like the big boys, were not there. So they said that, oh, even if we're not doing well, let's just try and continue to maintain our position. That's what they actually did because Arsenal was even at some point topping the league. So that's the thing. Arsenal they lack that mentality of champions. So that's what I just feel. Dick, you can still want to say. I've seen Dick. Yeah, you can come in now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you, Duke.
Yeah, very well, very good. Now, actually, at that moment when I started talking, my network misbehaved. I was actually trying to say there are quite a number of things I would want to counter, and for lack of a better word, actually nullify for what Freddie had just said. And the latest at that time that he was just saying was Arsenal's chances of winning the Premier League. I just shared that actually at the beginning. Freddie came in a little later, but I said I think this is Arsenal under Arteta. This is probably the worst season, I would say, from the structuring of that team alone. I told many Arsenal fans before the start of the season and told them, you know what, you guys are crying for a striker, but there are two things. You would actually get a striker and then he gets injured, or get a striker and then doesn't live up to the performances you expect the number nine you want to live up to. Now, away from that, I wanted to go back to what Freddie discussed when he said basically about Ruben Amorim and United fans and fans being impatient or whatnot. You see, Man United has got its DNA, and the problem is United's DNA has got the word glory in it. Man United fans, so many of them, especially those who had a significant period under Alex Ferguson, sang the song Glory, Glory, Man United from their hearts because regardless whether what or what United had to go home at the end of every season with a major title. And that's Man United. How they won that title, you don't tell them. What all they need to know is what are we taking home at the end of this season, and that was the same mentality with teams like Bayern Munich, teams like Real Madrid. You get now, all teams have got, I would say, their inbuilt philosophies. Madrid does have it. Barcelona has it, and Freddie was saying, Barcelona has also changed the way they play and whatnot. Style can change, but there is the philosophy that won't change. That is why you see, for a team like Bayern Munich to sign a manager, the first thing in the interview is, do you play 4-3-3? Period. And that is them. You're not going to change that. They have played that for decades and for from time immemorial. Those things won't change. Same thing at United. We all know, or if you didn't know, I will tell you the reason why managers like Van Gaal left United. Van Gaal came and everyone said, I think, for a long-term plan, Van Gaal is the best manager for United. But what pushed Van Gaal out of Man United was his style of play. United fans kept on saying, we don't do tic-tac at United. We don't do that. All we want is that net shaking, and then we're taking home a title. And that was on the lips of so many United fans across the world. We don't do tic-tac. We want to win the game. How we win, we don't want to know. We want the win. You get? Now, that's the kind of football that even Jose Mourinho brought at Chelsea. That is why at some point Man United thought maybe if they hired the services of Mourinho, they would get back to where Alex Ferguson left them. So that didn't happen because they hired a Mourinho whose curve was actually now dropping at the time. Now, Ruben Amorim, what is angering so many people is he comes at a time when United fans are now quite tired and said, okay, now can we get anyone who can just put us to where we used to be? There is a Ruben Amorim. So I told people this, and I keep telling them that what a manager does when he gets into an underperforming team is to build confidence in the players. Arteta did that at Arsenal. Arteta came in Arsenal at a point when Arsenal was shipping in goals for leisure. Arsenal was conceding goals for leisure. So what did he do? He started by at least improving on the defense. Can we stop conceding goals? That was the first step. He forgot about his philosophy first. Can we start defending quite in an organized way in every game? And then slowly he kept a few clean sheets. And you see, for anyone who has played football will agree that when you are on the pitch and then you concede a goal, it has got a toll on your confidence. But if the game ends, whether you've won or not, but you haven't conceded a goal, you can move with your head up because you've defended so well. At least you didn't concede. You see, now Freddie was talking about the principles of Ruben Amorim. Every manager has those principles, and no manager changes their principles. However, like I did say earlier, that you help players adapt. First, build confidence in the players. When Arteta came to Arsenal, the first thing he told the players their first training session was, you either do things my way or hit the highway. That is a principle. So it's him giving the orders and no one else. You get? Now, you help the players build confidence by giving them a system or giving them a style of play that helps them build confidence. Give them a style that stops them from shipping in goals, that stops them from conceding. Once they adapt to that, it's not that they should keep 10 clean sheets or 5 clean sheets in a row. They only need one. Now, the following game, if they can win, even without a clean sheet, it's good for their confidence. If they can still keep a clean sheet in the next game, the better. But all that you're looking for is confidence. Ruben Amorim comes into Man United and then he's making comments like, this is the worst team this is the worst Man United team in a press conference. How do you expect players to play for the manager who is making such comments against them? So those are the initial mistakes that Ruben Amorim made at United, and they could still be taking a toll on them. Ruben Amorim goes ahead to push in players, to push out players, the likes of Rashford, for example. Really not good for players' confidence. So now, at a time when he realizes he has made a few mistakes, and now maybe he needs to concentrate on the tactics, I feel there is still that there could be. This is me, guys. This is just simply my opinion. There still could be a bit of prejudice in the team, and then it's now being coupled by the fact that some players are being played out of their best positions under a system they have never played before. So, Freddie, this is in response to what you're saying, that the system and whatnot. There is nothing wrong with Ruben Amorim's principles and all that. The issue is, how do you drive towards your principles? Help the players, help the team build confidence in themselves, and then you can now let them. You can now start teaching them your system, because this is about teach. A coach is supposed to teach football to the players. If the methods you're using are wrong, however good the information you're trying to pass, however good the tactics may be, but the style of passing the tactics to the players is wrong, it will not give you the results you're looking for. So one, Ruben Amorim either has to improve on his way of teaching football to the players, a way of teach needs to improve on the way of passing on his tactics to the players, or Man United should find someone who can help the players, who can teach the players actually a way of playing football. You can't tell me that a whole lot of players at United cannot be taught a new style of play. I mean, even in schools, we have got players, we've got teachers who can't teach every student to understand. Some students will understand, some will not. But you cannot say you don't have the players
Then
who can play
they
what
want
you
to
want.
call the winner Ballon d'Or.
Well, you will give us the news on that. You'll give us an update on that.
Dembele, well deserved. Dembele won.
Yeah, I knew there was
Well
leaked, there was
deserved.
leaked,
Well deserved. Well deserved.
there
Well
was leaked
deserved. Well
information
deserved.
already.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be Dembele. Ah, well deserved. Well deserved. Dembele. This one will not come again. After now, you might not see it again. Helen, you're back. You're back, right? So well deserved, Dembele. All your struggles now, you've crowned with Ballon d'Or. You won first before Mbappe. I'm happy. I'm happy for
That's
him. So
that's
Freddie,
yeah.
you want
Actually,
to say
though,
something?
yeah. Actually, it's a well deserved win for Dembele. I'm truly happy for him, though.
Dembele.
I'm truly happy for him. It's a well deserved award. Mr. Duke, in as much as I could agree with some of your point, I could also have a little disagreement. Actually, coming to talk about Amory might be realizing his mistakes, right? I just feel that as a human, if you don't make mistake, I think you are doing something wrong or you're actually on the wrong path. That's first of all. Secondly, when you talk about a team conceding, hello, am I audible, please?
Yeah, you are. You are. You can. You
Yeah,
can. You
you
can go
are.
ahead.
You are.
All right, thank you. When you talk about a team conceding and that could affect their mentality or confidence, it's I will still make you to understand that I think that's still wrong from my own point of view because I'm a Madrid fan and prior to Xabi Alonso, I think we've had a couple of clean sheet, which is unusual with Madrid. You know that, right? Madrid is like a clean sheet team, and then we don't pack balls. We are not scared of conceding. Score, you are always welcome to score Madrid, but can you outscore Madrid? You see, Madrid. I saw that thing in Arsenal last season, and there's this game, Man U Arsenal. Man U for score. Rashford had a strike. He scored, and then Odegaard, who was the captain, was like he was cheering the team up. He was like cheering them up. It wasn't as if they considered goal. You see, that's the mentality I'm talking about there. Having a team that they know that okay, yeah, these people they just lead, they can't outscore us. Chelsea have that mentality too. After the game against Manchester United, the recent defeat to Chelsea, the manager said something that he had wished Sanchez allowed Mbeumo to score the goal instead of having that contact and getting himself sent off, because he had better be a goal down than a man down. That shows that this manager know his team. And you, on your word again, you said that when Manchester United was now given a red card, that they were now down to all 10. Chelsea played better. Obviously, they played better. Now you see the difference there. Now, you see, when we talk about a coach, I think you should know that there's a difference between a manager and a coach. Amorim is actually just Amorim can't teach any of those guys how to kick football. All of those guys are professional. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. All of those guys are professional. He's just there to manage them. And I think he Amorim, he's actually somebody who is very, very hyper emotional. Very, very emotional. And it affects his tactics sometimes. And it affects his ways of communication to the players, which I might want to agree with you that okay, yeah, he has made mistakes in his recent sales and comments with some of the players. Amori is there to manage those guys, manage their emotion, but you can't actually do that when yourself you can't manage yourself properly. So in the aspect of the team confidence, I I also want to agree with you on the aspect of okay, the team itself entirely, he is supposed to work on the confidence of the team. But talking about conceding, and that is going to affect the players' mentality, and so I don't think a good team with a high confidence conceding should affect you.
Freddie,
Conceding,
Freddie, what I
yeah,
actually meant was, when a manager comes into a new team, and the example I gave was Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. At the time he joins Arsenal, the whole team is low on confidence. So one of the ways he can build confidence in a team like that one is by helping them get that pride in a game after the game. And the pride comes from not conceding fast. You get. But now that he worked on his team, the Arsenal team plays so well. The Arsenal team plays high on confidence all the time. They went to Bernabeu and picked a very good result, even having conceded fast. You get. But the issue, this is because Arteta has been at Arsenal for 5 years now. You get. Enzo Maresca is high on confidence on his team is high on confidence because he has been with them whole season. He has even won the Club World Cup with them. So I mean, he knows the team so well. He knows who is capable of what, who is not capable of what. He has been with them for some time. For him right now, he's beyond build confidence in them. It's not just about now the real management, the tactics and all that. He left that already. He left that.
Oh,
But we're
okay,
talking about
okay, 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 okay. Duke, and Freddie, like, well, what it's like about to round up, yeah. Thank you for joining our space today, Duke. I can see, I can see you like football. Maybe you can be joining us. We are always here on Mondays. Yeah, you can always join us. We're always here on Mondays. Maybe I'll follow you. Maybe I'll come updating you for when we are active. We can join. I can see you're interested in what we do. Thanks for joining today. We really appreciate. So thank you. What we'll do here basically every Monday, we'll talk about what happened during the weekend games. I'll talk about what coaches need to improve and players need to improve. What is this club? Did anything need this manager? And basically on football transfers and sagas that happen. And we banter a lot here too. We banter a lot here. So that's what we'll do here. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. And I really appreciate. And I hope to see you next week Monday, same time. Because we start by 8 and close by 10. Most times 9. It depends on how interesting the weekend is or was. You get. So thank you for joining, Freddie. You're welcome. Duke, I see you. You always come through for us. I really appreciate you. So
Yo,
thanks for
thanks,
coming.
brother. Thank you. Yeah.
So hope Dembele deserves balance here. So this one now will not hear Ojoro this time, Abi. All the award today was well deserved.
Well deserved, brother. Well deserved.
Okay, we don't start hearing that he was ripped. This one FIFA picking, FIFA picking, FIFA child. I beg. So the whole word now is, but I have an issue with these people. Why would they put this guy in number 5, Rafinha? That's my issue I have with them. Rafinha was 5th.
Yeah. Actually, I feel in that Barcelona team, the person that really deserved that Ballon d'Or should be Rafinha.
Rafinha. I mean, I'm a Barca fan. I'm a Barca fan. So the fact that Barca fans are pushing Yamal is getting me pissed. Obviously, we know what happened last season in La Liga and Champions League. Rafinha was our best player, but the fact Barca fans, all these Barca influencers
Rafinha was
pushing
the best player
pushing
of
Yamal, like
Barcelona
who
last
does that?
season. I don't know. I don't know the campaign though, but well, well, it's nice being here,
I just
brother.
feel, yeah, welcome, 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 welcome. Let's enjoy our evening. Okay.
Yeah,
Good
thank
night,
you.
everybody. We'll meet on Monday, same time, same channel, same station. Keep the dial. Bye.